Oh, that's a great sound. Oh, I can't crack my neck. I want to. Oh, well, I'm only gonna be online today for a little bit, but you know, it's always good to just be here because I need to. I need to get better. I need to get stronger. I just need to have regularity. That's always a good thing. That's not usually something that's in an anime that's like, you know, get stronger, get better, have regular dieting and bowel movements. That's not the regularity that I'm talking about right now, but be funny if there's an anime like that. Anyways, I have not done this in a little while. It doesn't really matter in the whole like grand scheme of things, but to me it does. Um, this is like the time that I get to use for doing design related things. That can mean a hell of a lot, but I haven't done much like design stuff in a while. I've been building that door and it's not even finished. Like there's a bunch of gaps around it and I forget what they're called. It's like a not like a stopper or something like that that the door like runs into, so it's kind of it goes too far, not enough. I also have to like cut the rug and to do so much more. And then I'm also I need to write that down. I need to God, I need to do a hell of a lot. I need to buy soundproofing stuff, soundproofing materials. Duh, 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 duh. I already did that. So, what is it? I almost already forgot. Amazon. The wonder of writing things down. I think I've met a couple people in the past that they say that like I don't write anything down. That's so stupid. I don't write anything down. It's only idiots who forget everything all the time like me write it down. But like first of all, if you forget things a lot, you're not an idiot. That's something that's like really interesting. Like we as people, a lot of our judgments that people make towards other people is like all encompassing. Like if you don't know something that you should or should not know, you don't know it. Therefore, you are in totality an idiot. I don't know anything about brain chemistry. I don't know any I don't even know all that much about chemistry. I do remember a little things here and there from high school, but like if you took someone from a random field and told them to start working at a high level in another random field, they wouldn't know what the hell to do. To tell someone that they're an idiot, I kind of wonder. I've been on this like huge bender of understanding like the effect of saying certain things to people, not necessarily them believing exactly what you're saying, but when you suggest, again, the thing with like mantras and such, like if you suggest enough times to someone that they are one way or another, that they'll start unconsciously believing you. It's not a decision that we make. It's not like everyone's been calling me stupid, so therefore I am stupid. But there's a part of you that, maybe isn't spoken to you directly. There's not like a part of you that you're telling yourself that you are stupid, but some inner working of our mind that recognizes the words that they're saying and internalizes them. So, what was I going with this? Forgetting. I don't know. Calling someone stupid. Um, so I wonder if like, fuck. I think it might happen a lot more with younger kids, but I wonder what the effects are with adults if someone gets if we're unintentionally making our society dumber. Like, God, that would be one hell of a thesis paper. Like, is society holding itself back from achieving uh, enlightenment? Um, could it be that by a bunch of people, or culturally as a society, when one person doesn't know something, that we call that person then stupid? Is it possible by doing that that we're almost making our society dumber? Because if everyone does that, it's just like a general thing, like, oh, like I do that, like, oh, you don't know this thing about product design that you're not supposed to know, you're dumb. Or like, I guess more like, you don't drive the same way that I do, you don't follow the rules here but then not follow the rules here with something else in a way that I do, you are dumb. Can that lead to, like, I don't know, well, I guess the assumption that someone's living their life in a way that's not the same as ours, therefore means that they are stupid. If everyone lives their life that way and calls each other stupid in that way, is it possible that a large percentage of the population is internalizing that feeling of stupidity and therefore um, harming themselves? I guess, like, they're unintentionally holding themselves back because they're internalizing the feeling that they are stupid. Like, I'm not even doing any design right now, and I think part of it is because I don't want to, and I'm trying to. My brain's thinking of anything else to like try to keep me from doing it because I haven't done it in a while. Um, but like, oh, I could, if anyone just like says yes or no to that question, like I could talk for hours about just like stuff like that. Like, I definitely feel like I've been getting into a lot of the, you know, what, you know, what is it called? Like, influence. What influence does, how to influence other people. Like, oh God, I've from the advertisements that I'd been doing. And by the way, if you watched any previous stream with advertisements, and I figured out this whole storyboard to like how to advertise things, I have completely gone against that because it's way too much effort. I literally, I think I a couple days ago, I just downloaded a couple of commercials and just kind of basing things off of that. And I'm going to do an end screen and it'll look pretty, but it won't be a lot of effort. And I can see where that goes. But what was I saying? I don't know what I was saying. I really just don't want to get started. Like, I'm finding myself that I'm fidgeting with the pen and my ring. It's like, oh, I don't want to be an idiot. Maybe that's what it is. Like, I don't want to be conceived as someone who doesn't know what they're doing. Why is that such an issue? If you ask, not even ask, if you just like shadow a bunch of random adults in their lives, there's gonna be parts of their life that they have no idea what the fuck's going on. And there's gonna be parts of their life that they feel like they should know what's going on, but they don't, because they don't remember, they haven't learned yet, they haven't learned well enough. Like, everyone sucks at something at some point. And some people suck at a lot of things at certain points. Like, why is that such a issue? It's unfortunate. I don't know. There was definitely a large point in time of my life, mostly like I was doing so nice. 2019, great year. Pandemic hit. It like I didn't save my persona, my I didn't save my file for my personality, I guess, and it just like set me back so far. I used to be really good with like, not not knowing what to do and being like, hey, I don't know how to do this, what to do this. I know I learned it earlier, but I just don't know it now. Can you help me? Or like look at something and be like, I don't know how to do this. I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna figure it out. Like, oh, that was so nice to be able to do that. And now I'm just like anxiety ridden. Like, uh, I've graduated with a design degree and I feel like I don't know how to design things. Well, I feel like I don't know how to communicate my designs. And that, oh, I feel like if you don't know, in terms of like product design sense, if you don't know how to design something, that's fine. A lot of people don't know how to design something. But knowing how to design something and not being able to communicate it puts me in such a small box because it makes me look dumber than the people who don't know how to design. Because you'd think that by the point that you figure out how to design things, you'd, learn how to communicate that. Like, it takes a long time to be able to figure out how things work and how things are supposed to work together. So you're given a lot of time, and generally you're working at the same time to showcase or to communicate that idea. So like I'm even in a smaller box than the people that don't know how to design anything. Like I know exactly, I can see like 30 different designs in my head right now. Fully functioning, oh, and I can't tell you because I forgot how to sketch things. And this is why I wasn't online recently. Yeah, I mean, I was building that door, and that did take a lot of effort, but like, God, it just eats away at me, I feel like. It's not a good feeling. It's definitely like a largely, existential, like, is this what I am going to surmount to? Like, oh, I wonder, my brain just keeps going. I wonder if, like, so many grandeur artists, um, obviously, like the big artists that we know of today, like Van Gogh and I was gonna say like not Da Vinci. I was gonna say like classical music, a classical composer. I don't know why, but a lot of these great artists, a decent amount of them weren't really recognized to the degree they are now. Of course, because the internet didn't exist. Well, that's one, but I wonder if any of them had like the same kind of fears of, is this all I am? Like, I can only do oil painting. Is this all I am? Like, I really wonder. I want to pick their brains. Not literally. I don't know. Did they decompose already? Probably. I'd assume so. But, I mean, you can ask, like, a lot of, big content creators or, like, celebrities or the big people nowadays. You can ask them, and they'll generally, seems like most people who look like they know what they're doing, um, they may know how to do what they've done previously, but what they have yet to do, I guess no one really knows how to do, or else we would be doing it. But I wonder if they like have such like a strong, like, I don't know, disdain for where they are right now. It doesn't help that like I was really good. I wasn't really good at sketching. I was like good enough to show you like form and function, not necessarily working mechanisms, but could see what I was going after. And I was pretty good at perspective. I wasn't. I definitely have learned more now that I've looked into it, but it doesn't help that I really feel like I just like I lost so much more than I feel like anyone. I didn't necessarily lose a job during the pandemic. Oh, I did for a little bit. No one was taking Ubers. But yeah. wonder if that feeling will ever go away, of like feeling like I lost something, like skill wise. I wonder if that really ever goes away. Feeling like seeing people your age and like seeing how successful they are. And I'm not even talking about like celebrities or anything. I'm talking about other design students in my class who are technically a year younger than me because um, I did all my stints as a mechanical engineer and then failed out of college and then went back in for an associate's degree and then kind of made my way over to design. It's like, do I ever get the feel? Hey God, will I ever get the feeling that I'm on track? Or not necessarily on track, but like just not the feeling that, you know, my mistakes can't be undone. And, you know, no one has a time machine, but I'm saying like not doing as much sketching in 2020. Am I going to ever feel like I, you know, am at a comfortable stage for where I should be right now? Am I ever going to get rid of the word should in my language? I wish I could. I wish I could really get rid of my should could words. Anyways. Title doesn't say talk my ass off. Title says sketch, so I shall. Let me see. If this is, I did adjust my camera today, so is this a little too far? It's alright. It's just shaky as always. I think, my God, my bed has like 20 papers on it. I think I'm going to, I like doing the ellipses, so I think I might do that. Maybe not the boxes that I normally have done, or I have done in the past. Normally, oh God, normally it would mean that I'm doing it at a regularity. Oh God, those are so not straight. Alright, I need dots. Okay. That's, oh. This is what you get when you don't do practice. Okay, that's better. Hey, look at that. I did it slower and I didn't rush myself. I didn't judge myself immediately. I just thought straight line. Wow, that's pretty good. Kind of want to save these for later. Gotta get my general sense of how ellipses work before I can do any sort of weird shapes. And the general idea of this is to just, of these exercises, I was told by, I guess he is a sketching professor at my university that like, I think he was mostly talking to me when he said this because like, I didn't come in with like a background in any sort of drawing. Like I did not sketch when I was younger because I thought, you know, I'm a mechanical engineer. I'm just supposed to, you know, do it on a 3D program and render it. Like, I'm not an artist. What do you mean? So I think he was talking to me mostly to me when he said this, but like, every day you should work on just the basics, and the basics being perspective. Well, I guess that's not really. A line is the basics. Getting a straight line with your hand. And like no straight edge, nothing, just basic line. And then you also want to get an ellipse because a lot of products nowadays have circles and flowing lines and everything. Well, this doesn't actually have flowing lines. It has a circle on top. And in order to showcase perspective, you need to know that when something's, I guess, more closer to the top in this version, that it's going to appear as the circle has been like crushed into a thin ellipse. Whereas the bottom here, if we were going to outline the circle of this rim here, would be a lot wider, a lot more circular like. So that's along the lines of like perspective. It's like draw a straight line, and then for design you need to know how to draw in perspective. And then kind of along with this general like he kind of like said like, okay, so he said like, you know, to do those things, and then he said, okay, so you're going to do that by drawing straight lines and then using that straight lines to almost draw a bunch of tubes with varying sizes and shaped ellipses to practice the ellipses. But along with both of those exercises, and mostly just this one, is that you can practice screwing up, I guess. Just that's why I kind of like doing it with. Oh, geez, I made it too small. It's kind of why I like using words. I like using a pen for this, is because the issue that I had originally, and kind of still do, is that I don't know if I have it all that much anymore. I guess it's more seen with like my fears, not necessarily like my sketching style, but I'm afraid to mess up. And so part of the point of this is just to make a shit ton and to not care about that one. Do it and just move on. And you know, it's kind of like an unintentional way to practice that, and he recognized that, and he said, yeah, just do it with a pen, don't make it perfect. And then along with that is to, I haven't really been doing it all that much, is to just go one way, one time around, to kind of prep yourself and kind of see where the pen will lay when you're kind of doing a little circle like this. Like, I'm not drawing right now, just kind of seeing where it'll end up, and then just putting the pen down for one revolution. Gets you used to the fact of like, in order to be someone who's good at sketching, you're someone who does it right the first time, generally. That is one of the characteristics. So it's, again, practicing something else. And the other thing that you can kind of tool around with, like, I haven't done this in a while, so I'm not gonna necessarily want to try this, but is to vary the line weight. I'm only going to be going around one time, but generally what you would want to do is you would want to, if we're looking at the cylinder from this point of view, you'd want to make the front line a little darker and then the back line a little softer to make it look kind of more like you're looking at it that way. It's really difficult. I'm going to try to do it for this tube, because you have to think of like 10 different things. Oh my god. Wow, that is difficult. Kind of start twisting a little bit. Just follow that direction. Go with the flow. I am finding that, like, I think I've said it a couple times on here, and I probably have it somewhere, like on my Instagram or something, but, like Zen designs and like, Zen whatever. And while I'm not like, you know, into like Buddhist Zen, but like, I'm finding more and more that I'm actually just, there was this, I guess it was like a joke. It was talking about if you don't restrain yourself, you're not peaceful. You're just harmless. That's what it is. I don't don't know if I've never gotten into a fight before. I don't I don't actively restrain myself. I just think about things, and like when I'm out and about, I just think about it. So maybe I do restrain myself, but like driving for Uber, you'd imagine like the amount of driving that I do. You're bound to come across some people who just really, they don't suck at driving per se. They just service themselves in a world where other people exist is kind of a dick move. All my passengers, it seems like they're like, "Oh my god, that guy almost, hey, he's such a terrible driver." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, whatever. What am I gonna do? Crash into them and then beat them up and then not get in trouble? Like, you really think that? Like, oh, I should honk at them. Yeah, I should let them know how much of an asshole they are, so therefore they'll start apologizing to me. No, they'll just brake check me and make my day worse." I mean, I guess, yeah, for a split second I get like pissed off. I'm like, that guy's an asshole. But then I think about it and I'm like, oh, okay, what do I do? Yell at him? What does that do? How about I report him to the police? That's not going to do anything except clog up the police's day, evening, night, whatever. See someone piss you off on the road? Great. Cool. Let it go. Like, when it comes to like random people, or like seemingly random people, like I don't know, people who are just like friends of a friend or acquaintances. I don't know if anyone else does this, but like I'll hold on. I'll like tier my friends. TIER. I'll have people that I, talk to here and there. We know a little bit about each other. We're both generally cordial around each other. And then from that to, I've seen this person, we've met them a couple times, I've done maybe one thing with them. I consider that to be an acquaintance. Someone under those set of circumstances. Friend is a lot larger, though I will like kind of have levels of friends. Like I'll call most anyone above that a friend, but I'll only consider them like a friend or like a good friend if like we do things every now and then. We know a considerable amount about each other and about each other's beliefs and opinions. And yeah, it's someone I know that I can rely on. That's the big thing. Yeah, if you're a good friend of mine, you're someone that I've relied on in the past or know that I can and have probably spoken about that at some point. Why was I saying that? I don't know. I was doing sketching things and letting my brain run free. Oh god. Oh, why are my hands so greasy? It's probably not a good thing. Oh, okay. My pen was acting up a little bit. I want to see if there's any ink left. I think I've only run out of ink in one of these pens like once, and that was because like in school, like I had my school bag, and that was the one that was in there for like 2 years. I have like 20 pens, and they're all generally the same. Though I do have some shading markers and some calligraphy pens that I want to try to use at some point. I need to get better at shading. I need to look at something and oh god, I need to get better at shading. It's probably, shading is a form, I guess, of sketching. So it's going to be a lot easier for me to learn because it's like an easy goal. It's like, I'm not going to be a master at sketching or at shading, but it's going to be easier to learn it because it's something that's a part of a bigger thing. It is so hard to like, I think it's in total of just like wrapping your head around and like setting a really high up goal that you don't actually think is a high up goal, Like, getting better at sketching. What does that mean? It means, communicating my ideas better. Well, how do I do that? Like, so shading is a little bit easier because shading is like showing depth. How do you get better at showing depth? Well, part of it is just practice, but the other part is just looking at something and trying to mimic it, and then not looking at it and trying to mimic it. Which I guess is the same for sketching, but it's hard to mimic something that doesn't exist yet. That's my gripe. So what I have been doing, and part of the reason why I wasn't online earlier, is because I was kind of like teeming with anxiety because I want to. I thought of this idea earlier today when I was driving. I dream here and there about electric cars. They're so cool. They're so cool. But I was thinking about the Model X and the design scheme of that, and like the whole falcon wing doors and automatic doors and everything. Is the technology mixed with the design and the form is really cool. But then I was thinking about it, like those big ass doors that like come up. And it was raining out today, and I was thinking, well, hang on, the falcon wing doors, yeah, they shade you from like direct rain, but the whole car's opening is significantly bigger than a regular car door. So if there's any wind, wouldn't all the rain just go inside the car? Like, isn't that really bad? Though there's the complaint that, or not complaint, the reasoning that like, well, if you own $100,000 car, you're not going to take it out in the rain. It's like, well, maybe. But I was thinking of designing this because I did a quick search on it, could not find anything related to it. So it could just not be a problem, or it could be one of those things where like, it's a problem, but I'm not going to do anything to solve it because I'd have to create a product, you know? Anyways, it would be this idea that these retractable like gussets come out, rain guards come out like almost like webbing on the edge of the door panel. I gotta get a picture up. Hold on. Window. Do not fear. I am here. There we go. I think it's this one. Yeah. So like, oh, that's a pretty color. Oh no, this one's I think better. So it would be like on the edges here, it would attach, so this corner corresponds with this corner, this edge corresponds with this edge. So from here to here, all in this area would be like a rainproof sheeting, like something light, but something that can't tear easily if it gets like caught a little bit. Something that would just kind of like, not necessarily dangle, but it would attach to the exterior of the door, or maybe even probably the interior of the door. And it would extend outwards, and so like you could have this whole, this I think lines up with the ground right here. So like you have this area of vertical protection, but you don't have anything from the sides. And usually when you're in a storm, there's wind. Usually, it's been a while since I've been in a rainstorm where there has been no wind, like zero wind. That's kind of creepy, I feel like. So, yeah, having like a little just rain area would be so nice. And even if it's not raining, something else, it'd be shade, you know? If it's black, maybe it could be white. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here, but you could have these open so that the, maybe you don't want to turn the car on or whatever, or you have low range or something, you're out somewhere hot, open the doors, have that little rain gusset thing. This whole area becomes darkened because there's that patch of material here. So the inside would be dark. All above the door and everything, it would be totally dark. but you'd have the added effect of having air to pass through, so it wouldn't like be like you're in your car. It wouldn't be like you're in the car and it's getting hot because all the doors are closed. So I feel like this would be something that it could be used in many different uses, or a few different uses, not just rain. It would make it more of a practical car. It is a practical $100,000 car. So there is the chance that, like, when it comes to selling accessories for something, you have to understand that, like, if it's an accessory for something that's mid-range to budget range, you know, it can look like, you know, some college person made it and it sells for, you know, a fraction of the cost of the total product. Like, that's fine. But when you get up, like, into the higher range goods, like a Tesla Model X, it's not necessarily the fact that the accessory has to work better, but it has to look better, because the people who would buy this have bought the Model X. They have money to spend. So it has to look good. It has to function well, look good. And it has to be reasonable for what those people want. Because when I'm looking at this, I would be like, hell yeah, I'd love that car. I can't afford it, but I would love that car. But the one thing that I would want is rain protection. It would make it so much more practical. But there's the issue of, like, well, people who are at a $100,000 car, they're not looking for something that's necessarily practical in that sense. Like, they know they're going to have issues with it. It's something that pretty much no other car has. So there's going to be minor issues with having doors like that. But my design brain is like, well, hold on. You know, sure, it's good now, but it can always be better. So I could make you something that's really nice and makes it so much better. So, like, the reason why I'm kind of like, I'll design it, I'll sketch it out, sure, yeah, but developing it, selling it, finding the market, doing all that shit, less inclined to do so, because it's something that's just, a part of me is like, well, it hasn't existed before and no one's really complaining about it, so therefore it's probably not an issue. Not a good way to like look at things. It's just, it feels like my insecurities are just kind of coming out and saying, not now. But it is like a target market that I don't really know much about. And I know that it's going to take a lot of figuring out to get this working at like peak production, because the main issue that you're going to, like, if you just drape a cloth attached to this area and down, I just thought of an idea. And I'm not brainstorming right now. Like, God, if I could love a part of me, it would be my like upbringing in terms of design. Is that my upbringing in terms of design was that I needed to be an engineer and I needed to study well, and that there was no way to do that other than being an engineer. So I internalized a very, like, I rely on my unconscious mind to brainstorm for me. So when I'm just talking random shit, it'll be working in the back of my head and I can pick it out and be like, ooh, that's a good idea. And that just happened, and it feels so good to just be talking over here while another part of me is like on the grindstone, like, we need to get this done or else he's gonna be pissed off. Like, I have like 10 different people in my head just like, we gotta get this for him, he needs it now. And then I turn back around and it's there waiting for me. It's so nice. But anyways, if you were to just tape fabric to here, not necessarily connected to there, just drape it down and then close the door, it wouldn't just get sucked inside. It would get trapped in the door well. And one other major issue, these doors have sensors on it. I don't exactly know where, which I need to figure out if I was going to look into this a little bit more. But it has sensors on it to tell if it's going to hit something. If any of the cloth that's attached to the sides of the door gets in the way of that sensor, the door will not open properly and people will be furious with the product. But one way that I could get around that is attached to this side and to here, and use some very stretchy material. The only issue with that I think is that it will not be waterproof. Sorry, you got one wrong. So the other way that I'm thinking about this is that it would have some sort of motor or something similar to like an umbrella, where I don't really know how umbrellas work. I need to look at an umbrella and figure out how it works, but I think it's, yeah, it has to do with like the rods can move through a fixed point here, and they're fixed to another point here, and when this pushes up, the rods end up going, or they go down and then they go up. Oh, so like all the rods are like this, and then when the two points get pushed together, all the rods kind of come up and make the umbrella. So it could be something mechanical in terms of that method. There would probably be like diagonal spokes, kind of like similar to an umbrella, that would be kind of poking down. So there'd be one here, or actually connect up here. So one there. It would kind of be coming out at an angle, like so. Like this one's kind of straight up and down, but then there's a spoke here that's straight up and down, and then there's ones filling in between there. And when the doors close, all those spokes kind of get filed into a place and get put kind of right up next to the crossbar here, so it's kind of like out of the way. But then you have to make the internal casing look nice because it's a nice car, and like maybe you like fabric match it to the Alcantara so it kind of looks like just a little extra pillar box. But then there also might be controls that are on the pillar that might get in the way with the storing. It's like, again, product design is not just, oh, that'll look cool, let me draw it. Okay, that looks cool, let's make it. Like, holy shit. I feel like my understanding of design is a lot more on like the mechanical and how things fit together. Like I'm definitely a better, they tell us in school that we need to be like, as product designers, we need to be the liaison between the absolute like graphic people and like, well, not necessarily just the graphic designers, but like we need to be the liaisons between our own department and everyone else. And that's kind of like why we had how to communicate with others class, how to convey things verbally, and how to understand people, which I wish was a part of any fucking curriculum, even before college. I wish that they had this everywhere. It would make things so much easier, I feel like. But yeah, I feel like my methods of design is more focused towards like the design engineering side, which is like a mixture of both. So like I understand like why certain things need to be there, and like it can't just be all flowy and free and amazing. It has to actually work, which is my gripe with so many of the, oh my god, there's so many really good artists in design programs, but there are very, very few good designers. Everyone knows how to like draw a face, draw a person, and draw clothing and products and everything. There's so many good people who are really good at that. But all these people forget that the end goal of those products is to be produced. And in order to produce them, they have to work in society. And so many of them have like geometry that just doesn't add up. Like, you know, say like there's a certain part that's like 100 degrees, like the angle is 100 degrees. But in order to go through the processing method that they theorized, like blow molding, the mold can't be in excess of 90 degrees. I'm not sure if that's correct, but just based on like something like that, they said like a mold that they're making can't be in excess of 90 degrees, but their part is 100 degrees on one side. And it's like, well, it can't exist that way, so you need to do it a different way. And they're like, oh no, it'll just work. Or like, that's like more of a minutia. It'd be something like, oh, I love this. It's so, I sat in the back of the class a lot of the times. Well, I sat in the front, but for the presentations, I would sit more in the back because I would just have my hands in my head, just like, why, like low key laughing at like, oh my god, and I would pose questions that would, allow them to be insightful about the matter and try to figure out maybe why it doesn't work. Yeah, stuff like oh yeah, that like a drone that has I think there was one that was like a medical drone that could give people an AED in urban environments. And this guy looked into the infrastructure to make it possible to put stations up to allow these urban places to have like mobile run AEDs that can go all over a village or all over like a large area of country. And he got the placement right. Like he would use abandoned facilities that were apparently common in the area that he was researching. But the drone was about the size of an AED. But it has to have the power to lift one, and they're pretty heavy in terms of like payload. But then he theorized that the like range for one of these would be like 100 miles. Or like, and like the battery pack was not that big. It really wasn't. And I was just like, you can tell sometimes when you like ask a question in class that's like, all right, so the battery pack is this big? Okay. Have you measured how far that would go without a payload? And then be like, no, I really haven't looked into that. Do you know the range of any drone that's kind of similar to that? It's like, oh yeah, well I looked up this drone, it has like a range similar to this. Okay. So yours will be carrying 10 pounds. And the drones these days can go about, I don't know, 20 miles. I'm just guessing. So how will your drone go further? And they'll be like, you can just kind of hear like, shit, in the back of their head. That's like, oh fuck, yeah, I didn't think about that. I was just making, I was just sketching things, pretty sketching with my really good art skills. Yeah, I definitely am more like the engineering side of things, but well, they don't understand that. I don't understand the sketching, and I guess they have it better because technically, if I were to get a job somewhere in product design, knowing the engineering side isn't necessarily something that will get the job. It's just an additive. So it's something that like I can communicate with engineers much easier. Okay, I still can't perform my duties as a product designer to draw something because I suck at drawing too much. So it's like, oh, well, I'm think that my skills as like I guess a theorizer of how products work, how I think that's such a valuable skill, doesn't really get me anywhere in this world. It could get me somewhere in terms of like if I tried to make products on my own. But that's a whole thing. Anyways, in terms of making a rain gusset for this, part of the reason why I didn't want to like start sketching today, and while I'm still kind of 50 minutes in and have not sketched really anything, is that I know that in order to figure out how this rain gusset will attach, I need to sketch both the exterior and interior of this car. And my god, is it sexy. But I don't think I can draw this. Maybe this one? I can try. There's a part of me that just wants to like put my paper up against the screen and like kind of do a quick tracing of it, but I know that once I do that, I'm not going to want to sketch it again. I know that the first time that I'm going to want to sketch it today, I'm not going to want to try to sketch it from the same angle today, even though I probably should. But Damn. I'm like kind of tired. I got things that I kind of need to do. I also need to do this. Why am I doing a rationale that like I don't need to do this? I need to do this. I need to do this. Oh, hold on. So yeah, I'm gonna fucking do it. Hmm. Well, why don't what's the hold on. Sorry, I'll go back. Tesla Model X interior. Falcon wing door. I'm gonna try to get one. Oh, that's not good. Why does that show? Okay. Ooh, that's also not good. Oh man, I gotta. This might get me into a stint of doing doors. I remember as a kid thinking about all these different. I think it was like I had learned about accessibility design, and I wanted to figure out how to best get into a car. One of them, a car manufacturer almost did it, but didn't. I think it was only in the concept, and they didn't end up going through with it. But it's where the door comes off from the car, just the door, and lowers down, and then the seat pivots and tilts forward. It tilts forward and it also slides down the car. So like, I don't know if I can. Well, on the exterior. Yeah. Oh god, this could do. So the door opens and say it's kind of like it's over here. It's like off to the side, or no, it would. It could be off to the side. It could be in front or whatever. Maybe off to the side would be better, just for like space. So this seat, the front would be facing here. So like the edge of the seat would be here. There would be rails going down the edge of the car here, and the seat would go down, maybe even all the way to the floor if you wanted it to. Get on the seat, it lifts you up, turns you facing forward, and puts you in the car, and then the door kind of just like goes along the side of the car and locks into place. That would be so cool. In terms of accessibility design, that's amazing, I think. Then again, I'm not in a wheelchair and don't need that, so I would need to test that to see if it's something that someone would want, or I'd have to ask them what kind of thing they might need in order to get into a car. Ooh, this might be a better way. Yeah. There was one where the entire like area of the seat gets ejected from the car sideways and then rested on the ground, so the whole door assembly and some rails come out and the whole thing kind of comes down. Suicide doors are so cool. They just need to come back in general. Like, I don't want to design them, but someone else they already exist. Just make them automatic and futuristic and put them in a car. What's another interesting way to do a door? Above, no. To the side, eh. I already, like, minivans have doors that go to the side. Well, the Falcon, or not, Lambo doors, they have a pivot point here and the entire thing comes up. It'd be cool to see, I think, oh my god, Koenigsegg is a, German, company with a name like that, Koenigsegg. Their pivot point is in the back, and the doors kind of come up like that. That's cool. Yeah, I don't know. Doors are cool, but I gotta find an interior picture so I can try to figure out. Oh my god, that's cool. Of course Lincoln would do that. Of course. Could you open this next to another car? No. Could you open this in a crowded parking garage? No. This is a kind of car that is meant for people with lots of money and apparently don't go out in public, because you could never open this door anywhere except for maybe outside your house in your driveway. Like, oh. This is a pretty good one. Yeah, yeah, I could do that. I could deal with that. That one always looks like a dog to me. It's so cute. So cute. Huh? Oh. That one's... Just crop those people out for now. Yeah, I could do with that, I think. No. Ba-dum-bum, ba-dum-bum. I think I need to know where the bottom side skirts are in order to attach it in my sketch. Yeah, that one could do. Alright. Done looking around. Ish. Done looking around ish. Gonna try to sketch some of these things. What should I do first? The interior or the exterior? Well, the interior is part of it. I'll start with that big ass picture that I found first. Gonna put it in my random sketches. Oh, come on. I hate saving when I Google when I say I want to save the image, I want to save the JPEG, not the web page. Please don't make this mistake again. Thank God for screenshots, right? Yeah. Wait. Design references. Is this the right? No, this is a different folder. Current references is where I want to save this. Great. Okay, it's hidden. Oh. Well, that's tiny. It's still tiny. There it is. It's funny, I have to save the image, and yet in doing so, it just gets like feels like it gets lost again. Yeah, I think I'll put that over there. Okay. Gonna start off strong with a giant ass Model X. Why don't I just put it over there? Yeah, it's smaller though. What the hell? Okay. I just tried to make the picture full screen and it deleted. It almost deleted itself, is what it felt like. I'm tempted to just like do it like really like 3-minute sketch at max. I kind of want to try that. Hold on. Where's the edges to the frame? Okay. We're gonna use a straight edge, and I'm gonna use a pen so that I don't entice myself to erase. Okay. This pen looks so faded. The wheel arches are massive on this thing. Probably can't, yeah, you probably can't see all that much. I'm trying to, I'm tempted to keep things kind of light and airy because I don't want to fuck up, but I probably will fuck up at some point. I think that's the general length, it seems like. About halfway up is the door. And the fender flares again. It kind of goes out to that way. think, I have not done this in a while because all my things I feel like are just like gotta make it perfect. I forgot. I feel like a part of me forgot. I'm not really good at making things perfect right now. Might as well embrace the chaotic nature of feel like I can't do anything really all that well right now. Embrace it and, make some kind of crappy little thing or expect to make some crappy little thing. But who knows? I might be able to make a decent thing. All right, that's the rear. Not too bad. It looks a little, shrunk. It looks like it shrank. It lost some weight. But better than, oh god, those are... Sorry, I also forgot to give you guys a reference. Where'd it go? I have my reference image area. And there we go. Okay. Oh, fuck, I pressed a button. Okay. Yeah. Is that? No, I gotta put that below. Yeah, I think that'll, yeah. Well, that's actually a lot better. I can just do that then. Gotta put it above that one. Cool. Because then I can just put it underneath everything. I'm learning. Okay. Well, yeah, whatever. At least not gapped. Okay. So, the back is not the greatest, but I'm kind of getting a little tripped up on the, this area right here. There's so many lines. Draw it. Just go. Go. Oh, okay, that's part of the body, and then there's like a seal or part of the fender again. And then I think it needs to be a little wider. Okay. I have a zoomed in image. Okay, so it looks like there's a bunch of seals here that I might not be able to get to. But I could do maybe this lower part. It seems to kind of contact that in the image. But then this comes up. And then we have a line that kind of fades in, actually fades down in that way. But then the actual trim part kind of comes up and is. Yeah. Looks like just some lighting that kind of comes in here. Okay. So I'm zoomed in on my picture. Gotta get a better sense of where everything is. It looks like that edge kind of down that way. I think my angle's not right, but fuck it. Quick sketch! Quick sketch! Okay, the bow of the door is kind of like that, but then it goes straight up again. And I think, yep, that's generally about where the door ends. And then this, yeah, I am too high. Let me just make this. Oh, it's actually the other way. It actually needs to be more like, there we go. Yeah, that's what I get for doing pen, so whatever. Quickly, I think I'm just gonna do like a little seal in the door. Or is that a seal? Yeah, I think I'm gonna do kind of more like a shaded seal. You know, a seal that's in the dark. An emo seal. Okay, not too terrible. Actually, pretty decent. Looks like this kind of comes up. And so does this, but it kind of comes up and then up. Oh, whoa, that is weird. I think that's the sun that's making that kind of illusion. Oh, it kind of goes to there now a little further. And then that's the inner seal. But then there's another part that kind of comes up and then goes. I feel like this is gonna take me like a decent amount of time to sketch still, even though my brain's like, just go fast, just do it, just go and not look back. Which is good. I should know how to. I should just do it with a lot of that. These angles need to be in a different position. These need to be closer to here. I think this door area is a little too small. So part of the trim piece actually comes up. That's interesting. I did not know that. Look at that. Actually goes like that. There we go. Yeah. So that's the interior of the door somewhat. I think I'll just do a little bit more. I kind of started already. Do that kind of like inner piece that has the window attached to it. That's connected there. This essentially needs ooh, shit. No. Exterior. This needs to go there, and that is that. No. I think I messed up. This needs to go all the way across. And then this goes here. Yeah. There we go. There's these little like piston things. I think one's here. It's a door. It looks more like the one that got destroyed in one of those pictures, but it's a door. Okay. Guess I'm gonna try to like, oh, well, there's a pillar here. And that is there. The headrest. This is definitely more human-like than I'm used to. I don't. Again, I used to draw, not in high school, but I kind of dabbled in it a little bit in college. In figure drawing, and I kind of mostly stopped because like, oh, I think it was it was kind of unfortunate. It was like partly because of a there was a club that I wanted to join, the figure drawing club, and it was this really weird interaction. It wasn't mostly because of this, but it was partly. I know it was partly because of it. I had so I wanted to join the figure drawing club, and there was like a career fair, not career fair, a club fair that we had every so often, and someone was like actively signing up, and I was kind of like looking over there, and I saw someone that I kind of knew, and she wasn't an acquaintance, I would say. She was someone in the design program who like had like either total disdain for anyone who came in her path or serious RBF. Um, and uh, someone else was signing up, and they were like talking about it. And so it was two women who were doing the club signups. They were working with the club, and then they were talking with a girl or a woman who was interested in figure drawing. It's like, oh, well, do you have nude models that come in and whatever? And they're like, yeah, we totally do that. I was just kind of standing off to the side. I was like, oh, that's cool. I actually just look up pornography and sketch that because like that's how you can get a human form. And I think it was just the fact that I was standing off to the side, and they just looked at me like they said, yeah, we have nude models, and then they kind of just like glanced at me like, kind of like, oh, is this creep thinking that can join our class to masturbate? It's like I just was like, I'm gonna leave. I didn't sign up for the club because it was like, I don't want to be known as that guy. I don't want to be, because I know I'm not gonna talk to anyone. I'm gonna be there to sketch, and I'm gonna spend like fucking hours on one sketch because I love doing that. It's something where like you could just do it for hours. I could do one sketch for so long and suck at it, but it would be fun. It's so much fun. And I know that I feel like there's a part of me that feels like I would be conceived as like the creep. And I don't want that, so I didn't join. And then I kind of stopped doing figure drawing because I had other things on my mind, I guess, and I don't know. It just wasn't a good situation. I think the post is here. That's good enough. That's a seat. I think I can squeeze. Oh no, I need to. Oh. And then this kind of comes out. There we go. That's a little bit better. Cool. That's one side. One part. That's not too bad. I might actually use this as a reference. I could just draw with pencil. Okay, I want to finish the rest now. Actually, hold on. Let me do. That's why the ellipses are important, so that I can draw wheel wells and such. Okay. Next portion. Slash front-ish. Ish. Okay, I think I need to get the general profile of this. Front door, I think, ends like right here. Ish. can see like a faint line. I might not have enough space and might have screwed myself unintentionally. The front fender is pretty big. Or like... Yeah. Yeah. I think that'll do. Kinda, not really. It's kind of a little bit at an angle. I'm starting to find that I feel like a lot of the times where I'm just super anxious to do something, I'm just like, all right, short sketch, just go for it, and don't think about it, and just go, just do something really quickly, and then like I start getting into it, I'm like, you know what, this actually looks kind of good. I'm gonna try to like savor it a little bit, and I'm gonna actually do a decent sketch of it. And this time is like that one time where I'm like, I kind of can't do that. I need to just make a quick ass sketch because I don't do those. Nah, I think this one's a little bit more. Fuck. Yeah. That's a really shit ass side mirror. I think it's more like that shape. Yeah. And this is a little bit thinner. Whatever. Fuck it. That really sucks. Oh my god, that's so terrible. I just need it though for the. Do the inside. Okay. That works, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Make it super thin. Okay, and I think this is filled in by something. Not too bad. Looks pretty good, alright. Or looks pretty good, alright. Looks pretty good right now. This is the little button thing. Yeah, it's pretty good. I think I'm gonna do that. Yeah. There we go. And then in that body line, there's the camera right here. I think it's like that. Yeah. Cool. Okay, that's the... That nose is too low. Anyways, that's the exterior. Okay. It's alright. I think I can do like a nice line there. Exterior, that's the interior. Interior vena cava. Vena cava. Okay. I feel like I'm not being a good entertainer right now, but oh God, you can really tell when all my brain power goes into something. It feels like feels like a lot of my brain power is going into this. But a lot of my brain power is going into not letting the parts of my brain go that are saying like, it sucks. Just fucking stop. Just kind of tamping those down. Trying not to give in to the annoyances of my subconscious that's like ragging on me. It seems like the parts that say, you know, you're how old and all these fucking kids are, you know, taking the job that you thought you'd get. What an idiot. Yeah. So like part of it's the fact that like, yes, I am concentrating. I am doing something that is kind of taking a lot of effort. The other part is that like there's other parts of my mind that need effort to, I guess, work right. And one of them is just that little issue, I guess, with my brain. There's an interesting body line here. Gotta make sure that I take note. Not that one per se. Or this one. There's like a distinct, almost semi, comes off of here, and it kind of goes in, and it attaches here. It's really interesting. Being like the exterior physical designer, that'd be pretty cool. Especially for a car company like Tesla. Like, oh god. I feel like I'm super underqualified, but ready to learn if anyone ever gave me that kind of possibility. Be really interesting. Body lines on cars is just like one of those things that, could be so sexy. Like, there's a good friend of mine that like, he's an architect and he like will find certain buildings and building styles sexy, like physically attractive. And usually when we say physically attractive, you know, you're usually referencing a person, not a building. And I think he was the first person to kind of show that possibility that like, I can find objects, not people, objects, purely objects, attractive, visually stimulating, and have that same sort of like seductive aura to it. Like, oh, this line here, I gotta get it right because I'm like kind of in love with it. Hold on. Not this one. Okay. I didn't get it right. I can tell that off the bat though. But that one, that like kind of hood one, it is a nice line. Same with these lights too. They look like they're gonna kill you. This car. You see these headlights? First off, they're fucking bright. And I do own a short car. Yes, I get that. These lights look like they're gonna, you know, it looks like autopilot's gonna turn on. The car's going to drive to your house and is going to murder you. And I love that. It has such aggressive styling. Oh, it is quite nice. I think I also just messed up in terms of like the line depth, I guess, or I'm not getting that right. There we go, I guess. Eh, kind of sucks. No, wait, that's not right. Hold on. I need to draw this door. I think that's why I didn't really get it right. Is because perspective is off. Now I'm really like, oh god. It should be like at an angle like that. And then the windshield kind of comes in contact like right here. Oh wow, that was majorly off course. Well, it was a quick one. I need to finish this door. At least I got like the important parts. You know, the parts that I'm gonna actually do a partial design on. Hmm. Yeah, okay, that's alright. And then up. Okay, I gotta zoom in on this door. The balls, I think that's more lighting that I'm just not really, my brain isn't really perceiving in the right way. Alright. I think I'm just gonna do that and do a little bit of any shading and then maybe the console. And then this. Yeah. It does kind of look flat. I think this is too short. Yeah, a lot of these things are. Alright, so I did one on camera that looks so fucking pudgy. Anyways, I can still kind of use pencil and articulate at least one point. So the idea here is having this kind of rain gusset, and then this would be off of there, and then I think this would be here, and then this would just kind of come down there, and it would attach to the door, and then also to the interior. And you would get this kind of you get this area. I'm going to make these lines a little darker. Get this area here for nice, easy entry into the vehicle if there's like a rainstorm or a snowstorm or something. Something for like a emergency use. The designer in me, the one that wants to make things super easy and nice and usable and such, really wants to make this something that you can just kind of shove onto the door and then take off. It could be done that way if like you could, you know, pre-install some magnets or something like that, and they'll attach. But I think one of the ideas here is to have, you know, one rod here, one rod here, and just have kind of like spokes kind of coming off here. That would help support this area, but that could all they could all slide up to the top here. So like this one probably wouldn't be moving at all. This one would probably stay pretty stagnant, but then all of these would kind of move up, and when the doors are all closed, like if I can do a quick ass sketch. Yes, I can do a quick ass sketch. So when all the doors are closed, yeah. So this is the one over the wheel here, and then this is that one. So when they're all closed, it would be in like a tube on this pillar here. So it would be right next to the pillar, and it would all kind of like be upright. Rain, and more rain. Got it. So yeah, that's the idea. And I'm kind of glad that I did a little quick sketch, even though it's looks like someone it kind of looks like if a breeder got a hold of a Tesla and tried to make the pugs that they used to. Yeah, that's what it looks like. I got the perspective off a little bit, you know, not the greatest, and it kind of led to that little whole escapade. I think part of the reason is that the actual hood should have been more like that. That should have been more warped. Anyways, lessons to be learned. But yeah, I feel like this would be really cool. Part of the issue is that, like, knowing myself, I want to be able to test that. And either I have to own one, know someone who owns one in order to test it on it, or make a working replica of just the door frame area, which means I would probably do is I would get as many specs as possible, try to make it, and then probably end up having to rent a car just so that I can measure it and like test it and, you know, make a mock-up and do that like for like maybe a day or two. Drive it a little bit, because that'd be fun. Anyways. Oh. Yeah. All right. Maybe there's a. What are some other cool ideas I've been looking into lately? Well, there's the magnetic. I was gonna say surfboard. That'd be interesting. No, magnetic snowboard with those interesting bindings. Where the fuck did that? I know I need to do more research. That is not a Tesla. I know. Oh, there we go. I know I need to do a little bit more research into. This is when I was like, oh, I'll do this in my free time, and then I'll kind of come back, and it's like, oh yeah, my free time was doing that, and I'm still not done. Which is, I kind of want to get offline and do that. Yeah, there's a part of me that's like, oh, I should stream me working on the door. I swear way too much. No, I mean, it's more of just the fact that like it's all the way over there, and I have no way to get this microphone over there. Cord's not long enough. I won't be able to read the screen a whole lot. There's like all these little issues, and it's like I just need to finish the door. I really do. Also, there's lots of loud banging and drills, and I probably don't want to have someone deal with that. Anyways, so I guess the thing is, oh yeah, I need to know how the shoe. I need to know how the shoe connects, and how the faces are cleaned, like the connection points are cleaned, so that you can stick to it consistently. And how to activate the cleaning in order to understand the rest of the form. Because what I want to do is I should kind of make this clear. What I want to do is be able to rotate this part and push it in, rotate it down, And yeah, I guess what I said and like shown right here is that, I can probably I don't have to have it up as high as it is. It can be kind of down already. It can be, this whole part can be lower. But and I don't need that heel cup. I remember I don't need it. But to rotate this down and push it in to eject any matter from it, I also need to know how an electromagnet works, because that's what I'd be using. But yeah, I need to figure all that stuff out because it will determine the form, and I am an anti-designer. I don't make a bunch of sketches of how it could look or how it could be interesting, because part of it's the fact that like I don't know how to sketch, so in taking the amount of time that I'm going to take to sketch something, I'm going to be deliberate in how I sketch it. But in knowing that, I feel like I should then do a bunch of sketches so that I get better and I don't get in the rhythm of not sketching because I feel like I can't. So I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to theorize based off of how I can figure out how it could work. I'm going to theorize a couple different ways on how it could work and sketch that out and then do the research, because I'm a time to be a mild design masochist, putting too much work on my sketching abilities to get them better so that I can progress the project in the proper way. As a industrial designer, we're supposed to, brainstorm potential ideas and then hone in on a couple that would really work, and then brainstorm again through a sketching phase, and then hone in on which ones could work. And I tend to do the brainstorming. I love brainstorming the first way. That's super fun. But then to get from there, I don't. So I think it's like the double D method, or it's like you diverge and then you converge or whatever, and then you diverge and you converge. I diverge and I converge once, and then from there it's kind of more like a long line. It's like kind of comes out a little bit, but then it's mostly just a line. It's just like a flat line, and then like a spike in concepts and everything. God, it's like my process is more like a heartbeat. It's supposed to be like a not a sine curve, but like I was gonna say anal beads. I did already. Okay. It's kind of like that. Um, yeah, it's like my inability to breathe. It's like I'll just forget to breathe and I'll flatline for a second, and I'll like have a bunch of ideas again. They'll kind of come up. I do have sketches. I do have sketches kind of like that. But yeah, so I guess tomorrow, even though I don't have it on my schedule and I probably should add it, maybe I'll just yeah, I'll post on Instagram. I am going to do a short ass stream tomorrow, even though I don't usually schedule myself for it because there's an event that I go to that I'm not gonna go to. But then on Saturday I'm not gonna be here because I'm going to a different event. So I guess it's in a way to kind of like make up for Saturday. Yeah, I think I'll stream here from like 1 to 3, 1 to 4, or something like that tomorrow. Doing kind of general similar stuff. But yeah, I'm really tired. Like I should be waking up early. Don't. It's kind of like the one of the minor flaws of not having like an official design position anywhere, or really having a job with regularity, like imposed regularity, as in you have to come in to work between these hours. I do Uber, which means that like I generally know when like the high times are, though I have been experimenting and figuring things out. But like I don't have to work every day. I don't live in my own place, therefore I don't have to work. But I do, and it helps me keep me sane in a way. But again, it's something where like I can oversleep 4 days in a row, and I don't get in trouble in any way in regards to like someone else, but I get in trouble in my own mind because like I feel shitty. But yeah, I woke up early today. I woke up without showering or eating, mounted the door on the frame because I got pissed off that it was hitting my foot when I was sleeping. That's a way to wake myself up. Maybe that's what I need to do. I need to piss myself off minorly by like keeping a door open or like taking it off its hinges. Then I can wake up, do that thing, fix it, and then shower, eat, and then I ran a bunch of errands, did Uber, did this. No, I did Uber, and then I had a bunch of anxiety about doing this, and then I did it, which, hopefully that'll help me out in the future. If I get anxious about something, I just remember doing it is so much more fun. It's so much more fun. Thinking about doing something sucks, but doing it, even if it's terrible, like, this, it's so much fun. Because then I learned that, like, hey, I can get myself to start, and that's usually a big issue. But speaking of starting, I'm finishing the best way possible by sleeping soon. Well, I'm gonna eat something scrumptious. I will see you tomorrow on my normal Saturday time, which is 1 to 4. So you could probably expect more physical sketching because SolidWorks, my lover, has not come back to me yet. hopefully soon, because I need to work on a bunch of 3D modeling stuff, and I really don't want to learn something to figure out how to do that. Yeah, more hand sketching, because why not?